Brothers and sisters, I'm very, very happy to be here today. My brother is your MP. He has made you his family. And I feel like I'm also here amidst my family members. Ellavarku mente namaskaram. You are the pride of India. You celebrate Vishu, Onam, Eid, Christmas, Easter. All the religious groups live in harmony. You are an example for the whole nation to see. You are the children of Narayan Guruji, who taught us all the way of truth, who brought the idea of equality amongst you. The idea that no matter how poor you are, how rich you are, no matter whether you are a farmer somewhere in a village, whether you are the Prime Minister of India, as human beings you are all equal. And this is the same idea that Mahatma Gandhi ji expressed. It is the same idea with which he inspired the revolution against the British and made India free. It is the same idea seeded in the Constitution of India. That is why today, no matter where in the country you are, no matter what you do, no matter which religion, which caste you belong to, you have a vote which is your greatest power. This vote makes the future. It makes your country strong. It makes you choose for the next 5 years who is going to be in government, how that government is going to work, and what your future is going to look like. So it's very, very important for you to understand, especially today, under the circumstances and the way things are in our country, that this vote of yours is not just for you, not just for your family, not just for Wayanad, but it is a vote that is going to protect the democracy of this country and the constitution for which all these great people gave their lives and fought. So I want to tell you a little bit about what is going on in our country today. I'm sure you watch TV, you listen to the media, but unfortunately, most of the media is captured by the BJP, by the forces that support the BJP. So often they don't show you the truth. But if you look carefully, the truth is everywhere. The truth is in the daily struggles of your life, in how prices are rising exponentially, whether it's the price of petrol, diesel, oil, anything you use in farming, anything that you go and buy from the shops, those prices are rising exponentially. The truth is in the figures, the rise in the unemployment rate, which has multiplied in the last 10 years. The truth is in the fact that our savings have reduced, the household savings have reduced. The truth is in the fact that the growth rate is nowhere near what it was during Manmohan Singh ji's time. In fact, if you look carefully and you listen to the Prime Minister's speeches and to the speeches of other politicians in the BJP, you find that the truth is reflected in the fact that they will not speak about your problems. They will not speak about development. They will not speak about real issues. Every single day they pull out some new issue which is unrelated to your life, which is unrelated to your progress, which is unrelated to rising prices, rising unemployment, and they make the whole media talk about those irrelevant issues and try to make the election about them as well. The truth is that in the last 10 years, they have done all they could to destroy every institution that protects the rights of the public in this country. Anybody who fights for you, anybody who speaks out against them, anybody who speaks out for you is harassed, intimidated, and brought to their knees. Today, we are about changing the constitution. It is the constitution which protects your rights. It is the constitution that sees each one of you as equal. It is the constitution that gives you your right to vote, your right to reservations, and every right that makes you strong. And their leader slowly talking about the fact that if you give them another majority in this election, they are going to change the constitution. It must be the first time of this nation and our democracy that two sitting chief ministers have been jailed right at the time of the elections. Hemant Soren ji is a tribal chief minister. He has been harassed endlessly, and today they have put him in jail as well. The situation is thus that Congress party's accounts have been closed by this government just before the elections, so that we do not have the strength to fight the elections in the way that we can. On the other hand, you must have seen that Mr. Narendra Modi came out with a scheme called the Electoral Bond Scheme. This Electoral Bond Scheme was a scheme that ensured that whoever gave donations to political parties, his name or that company's name would remain secret. A case was put in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court judged that this scheme would lead to corruption and would lead to biases. And so they said that the list of people who have given donations to all political parties should be made public. And the most interesting thing happened when this list was published. It was found that all sorts of companies had given huge donations to the BJP. Some companies that were earning around 100 crores had given donations of thousands of crores. Some companies that had got contracts from the BJP had given big donations. Other companies on whom cases were put, who were raided, who were pressurized, gave donations, and those cases were removed. Those raids were stopped. So the situation in the country is that institutions that protect you are being weakened. Democracy is being weakened. Corruption is being made systemic. It's being institutionalized. And worst of all, the Prime Minister feels that he can get away with anything and there is no answerability to the public. So while you're shown beautiful images on TV, while you're shown the Prime Minister looking strong and powerful, what has he done to make you strong? He has done but distract the public, divert the public's attention from real issues. And he continues to do it every single day of this election campaign. On the other hand, you have an MP from here, my brother Rahul, who has done nothing but fight for you. They called him all sorts of names. They abused him every day. They spread lies about him. They made videos on social media lying about him. They continue to do it every single day, but he did not stop. They put false cases against him in every corner of this country, in Gujarat, in Bihar, elsewhere, so that they should harass him as much as they could. Called his martyred father a traitor to this nation. They called his martyred grandmother a traitor to this nation. They called his grandfather, great-grandfather names. They called his mother names. They attacked his family, but he did not stop fighting for you. With truth and humility and love in his heart, he walked from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, and he traveled from God that we are a united nation, that we must fight for that democracy is not destroyed in our country. They threw him out of parliament. They threw him out of his house. He still did not stop fighting for you. I'm his sister. I'll tell you something. We used to play a lot of soccer when we were children. He taught me how to play. He was a very good player. The one thing he could not accept, we would play, we would fight, sometimes somebody would win, sometimes somebody would lose. But one thing he could never accept was unfairness. As a child, somebody in his own team was unfair to somebody else. As a child, unfairness was unacceptable. And ever since he was a child, whether it was any unfairness being shown to a little animal, or unfairness to other human beings, or to other children, he stood up for the person who was being victimized. And I'll tell you one thing about Rahul, that if his own people, he will stand unfailingly for what is right, for the truth, and what he believes is the reason and the foundation. And that is the idea of fairness and equality. When the this whole sector hands the ports, the airport, everything to his rich policemen friends, and that also only 2 or 3 of them. That is not fairness. That is your wealth which he is giving to those people. When you struggle day and night to make ends meet, to feed your children, to educate them, to find them jobs, and you have no support from your government, and all the support is reserved only for a few people who are the Prime Minister's friends, that is unfairness. When elected governments are brought down by bribing MLAs, by giving them hundreds of crores, when the public has elected them, that is unfairness. When a young boy like Siddharth is tortured and ragged until he passes away, and when there are rooms reserved in universities specially to torture children who go there to study and make a future, and no action is taken against them, that is unfairness. When women are molested or paraded in the way that one lady was paraded in Manipur, or when women are raped like in Hathras and Unnao, and the government protects the rapist, protects the molesters, or turns its face away, that is unfairness. It is unfairness, and it is unacceptable in a democracy. You look at Kerala itself, look at the government that is running here. It is fully colluding with the BJP. The only person they attack is Rahul Gandhi. BJP politicians are caught with crores in their car. No action is taken against them. And please be very alert and notice this, that the Kerala Chief Minister's name has come up in many scams. But nowhere has Modi ji's government taken any action against. Every other opposition leader is attacked, harassed, put into jail, cases are put on them, but not against the Chief Minister of Kerala. And the greatest unfairness that is constantly being perpetrated on the people of India is that they are constantly being distracted and asked to vote on the basis of their emotions, their religion, or their caste. Instead of being asked to vote on performance, on the fact that the government should be creating progress, should be developing this country, should be providing opportunities for education, should be providing centers, hospitals for health, should be creating opportunities of work and jobs and employment for you. This is not Rahul ji's politics. Rahul ji's politics is a politics of truth, of real issues, and of hard work. Through his efforts, projects worth 145 crore road projects have been passed for Wayanad. 54 houses have been handed over to needy people, especially to widowed women and other needy people, and 37 more are in the process of being handed over. 10 smart Anganwadi centers have been opened. Under the funds that every member of parliament gets to spend for his constituency, Rahul ji's is one of the highest spent funds in Kerala for the area of Wayanad. 131 projects have been started with these funds. Projects for drinking water, for tribal colonies, dialysis machines, ambulances, school buses, and libraries. When the night traffic ban became an issue, Rahul ji came here and stood with you and fought for you. And the same thing happened when the demarcation of the buffer zone was taking place. He forced the government to safeguard your livelihood. He raised the Nanjangud-Nilambar railway line issue in Parliament. He raised it with both the Chief Minister of Kerala and the Chief Minister of Karnataka. He constantly works for your betterment. He treats you like family. He feels happy when he comes here and he moves among you. He tries hard to understand what your problems are and in which ways they can be resolved. It is under his leadership that many guarantees have been brought in the Congress manifesto this time, which will benefit the public. Minimum support price for crops will become a law in this country. There will be no question of not getting it. And rubber will be given agricultural status. Today there are 30 lakh jobs, vacancies in the central government. They have not been filled. Today 1 in 3 unemployed youth there are in Kerala, the highest in the country. You are most educated and yet you have the highest rate of unemployment. The Congress party guarantees that it will fill all these vacancies, provide these 30 lakh jobs to young people. In addition, it will come out with an apprenticeship program. So if you are young and you have finished your studies, you will get an apprenticeship that will pay you at least 1 lakh rupees per annum until you find a proper job. Just like 100 days of work was guaranteed in the villages through the Manrega program, there will be an urban guarantee where in the urban areas also jobs will be guaranteed to that extent. 100 days of work will be guaranteed to everyone as a right. Wherever there is a larger tribal population, all those areas will be declared as tribal areas. Forest land claims will be cleared within 1 year and there will be a special sub-plan for SCs and STs and a special budget. In every poor family, the eldest woman will get 1 lakh rupees per year so that she can have some savings. And a health insurance for each and every citizen up to 25 lakh rupees, where you will be able to get health services for free with that insurance, will be put into place for the whole country. There will be waivers on education loans and a 5,000 crore rupees startup fund will be created for all young people who want to start small industries of their own, small little companies of their own, or do a business of their own. They will get money from this fund. These and many others which are in the Congress manifesto are real solutions for your very real issues. So in this election, here in Wayanad especially, I ask you to awaken towards your responsibility. You have a great responsibility towards this nation. When you elect Rahul Gandhi as your MP, you stand for everything that is truthful, everything that is honest, everything that is right in our politics. When you vote for Rahul Gandhi, you stand against the unjustness of handing over all the wealth of this nation to 2 or 3 people, and you stand for the idea that the wealth of the nation belongs to the public and it should be put back in the hands of the public. When you vote for Rahul Gandhi, you stand for justice, you stand for democracy, you stand for the strengthening of our institutions, and you stand first and foremost for yourselves. So I urge you to support him, to stand shoulder to shoulder with him in this great fight for the democracy of our nation. I urge you to walk with him on this difficult and arduous path he has chosen, on the path of truth. As his sister and your sister, I can tell you, he will work with complete dedication for you as he has done in the last 5 years. He will work day and night to resolve your issues, and he will always be by your side, no matter what difficulties you go through. You have listened to my words very carefully. I hope that you will remember them on the day that you go for polling. I hope that you will all go out and cast your vote, and you will make sure that your single vote counts in the protection and the building of this nation. Because we all love our country. We love its land, this land, the oceans, the rivers, the jungles. We love each other as one people, as one family. And it is time today for each one of us who cares for this country, who loves this country with all our hearts, to stand up for what is right, to look beyond ourselves, to look at the future of India and know that our one vote can either save it or let it go further down on a path of destruction, that it is being led by Mr. Narendra Modi. So thank you very much for listening to me. My love and good wishes are always with you. And thank you for supporting my brother through such difficult times for him, and for recognizing the truth and recognizing an honest man when he came before you. Thank you.